guys, it's Chad with BAKO'S Custom Lawn Care again. So this time we're looking at the Rbg-712. I know you guys probably heard some stuff about it. So today I'm gonna kind of go over it and then maybe demonstrate it a little bit. But I used to use just an angle grinder, you know, and put it on a nail and balance it that way. But in the end, you kind of lose some rotors and stuff like that because it's not really balanced. And I'm going to go over that too, because we're going to, not only are we going to do the Rbg-712, we're also going to do this. Let me kind of move the camera over here real quick, and you'll be able to see this other thing here. This is the Mag 1000, right? So when you're balancing your blades, this is what's going to do a fantastic job. This thing balances them just great. So anyway, you guys have probably seen the ones you set on the table and different things like that, and those are okay, but they're nothing like this. Now you're probably going to spend a couple $100 for that. I'm not sure what it is now. I've had that one for about a year, and this here, I mean, it's probably $700 now. But if you're doing a lot of blades and you got a lot of lawns, you know, or if you just want a cool toy, you know, this is the way to go, because this thing has got the bevels here. So I can bring this a little closer. So basically you just sit your blade in there and you just pull it through there, and it's already got the angle set for you. So makes it super easy. It's got plenty of power. And oh, and this extra piece here, this doesn't come with it. This little piece up here, that catches all your grit and stuff and your pieces of shavings off your blades. And it's really nice, guys. I'd almost recommend it, just because it catches 99% of all your shavings. So anyway, let me get this thing going. Now I've got a new blade I'm going to test it on, just because even the new blades can be out of balance, believe it or not. So we're going to fire this thing up and give it a whirl. So just hold on just a second here. Okay, so this is actually a brand new blade off my walker, and it's good to probably clean these off a little bit so you don't mess up your grinding stone. So I'm going to grab a paper towel real quick. And also, likewise, if this was a used blade, you'd want to clean off all your grass off this and get it all nice and clean. So basically, you know, we got the edge right here, and that's the reason I kind of wanted to use a brand new blade, so you could kind of see these have got the edge already on here, the factory edge. Well, what changes, I guess what the difference is between the, you know, using an angle grinder or whatever, that thing right there will put this factory edge right on there. So it's perfect again, and it gets perfectly balanced as well. So yeah, I'll see if I can get this turned around so you guys can see it. But yeah, it's got that perfect edge on there. And you know, you can sharpen these with an angle grinder, but it just doesn't get that perfect thing. So right now I'm going to go ahead and flick this thing on, like so, and then we're just going to make a couple of passes here. Let me see if I can get this a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. So we're just going to take and set it in here. yeah, you guys can kind of see that, how nice of an edge that gets on there. Pretty sharp. I mean, it was already sharp because it's a new blade, but I just want to kind of show you guys from what we've seen before. And it does take a little practice. I mean, this is pretty new, so I still have a little bit of a learning curve. But once you start practicing with it, you can get really good with it. So anyway, I'm going to run this one more time. Alright, now we're going to flip it around. Just going to do it just like this. Just in those few, I mean, these were already sharp, guys, but still, I mean, look at this. Just a real nice thing. Like I said, I kind of started off, I kind of forget that if you look at this, let me move it around, you kind of see you got to lay it at that angle, and you can tell, I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but I can tell, like as soon as I set it on there, that's perfect for doing this blade. It's already set up. Right through there. It's like that. So yeah, guys, very nice results. So even if this was a a used blade, I mean, just look at that, guys. You can tell that it's a perfect line there where the factory edge was, so that's just how well it does. And like I said, this thing is just really nice and sharp now. So yep, so very little practice, it does take a little bit to get used to it. It's a little different machine, but like I said, it's way better than an angle grinder. Very expensive, but except if you got a lot of lawns or you just want a cool toy, this is what to do. So now I'm going to shut that off for just a second so you can hear me a little better. Now we're going to go over here to this Mag 1000, and I'm going to show you how this thing works. This is just something else. So I'm going to get this set up so you guys can see it well. Okay. Alright, so what you do is when you're not using it, you press this all the way in. You don't want to forget about that because it'll dry out your grease and your bearings and all that. So you always want to push that back in. But when you're ready to use it, this pulls out like this. And then you set your blade in there, and then you would push it in to where it stops right on there like that. Okay? And we'll let this go, and we'll see how well I did as far as balancing it goes. And what you guys got to understand, this thing is ridiculously accurate, right? This is not like, it's not like you're putting it on a nail or even the table top, balancers. It's not like that. So right now, look at where that blade is. Now I should have took a video before so I could show you just how out of balance the brand new blade was. So I don't know how I just did that, but I put this on there and I ran it a few times and actually got this blade more balanced than what it was from the factory, which is actually blowing my mind right now, because this is, with this machine, it's very, that is very balanced, right? It's not going to be perfect every time. I mean, I could go over there and I could take a little more metal off one, you know, maybe this side here, but if you look at it, it's coming back. And I've literally had this, when the blade is really imbalanced, I've really had this thing just sit and spin like 50 times. It'll just sit there and go until it finally will stop, and it'll be like this or like this, and then you got to go over to your machine and take a little off. But look at that. I mean, that thing is just that's pretty perfect right there. So we're gonna leave that alone, and actually I'm gonna run out and grab, I've got another brand new blade, and I'm gonna throw it on here, and I'm gonna show you guys just, I mean, how unbalanced the new ones are. So it's not a bad idea to even take your new blades and run them across your machine a few times to make sure they're balanced, because it will save your rotors on your machine. So I'm gonna actually take this out. I'm gonna bring you with me so you guys don't get bored. So okay, we're gonna go get that other blade. All right, guys. So let's go out here to the trailer, and I'll grab this other blade here. Alright, let you guys stand by for just a second. Get this thing pulled out of here. Okay. Alright, now here's the other used, or not used, but brand new blade. Okay. Alright, guys. Get out of the trailer here. Okay. Boy, I don't know how the weather is where you guys are today, but man, it is gorgeous here today. Much better than last week. I think we were snowing last week. So, alright. Alright, Shadow, let's go. Alright. The famous Shadow is following me around. I don't know if you guys can. Yeah, there he is. Famous Shadow. See ya? What you doing, Shadow? What do you think? Alright, so put you back in here. Like so. Alright guys, so here's the test. Now look at that. It finally stopped. That is pretty darn balanced. So we're gonna take this one off. Okay. Now we're gonna add this one, which I'm gonna show you is a brand new blade. It's just a little dirty, so I'm gonna wipe it off. So, okay, got it all wiped off. Now we're going to put it on here. Now this is gonna blow your guys' mind. Watch this. So this is the new blade. Now you remember what the one I just sharpened did. So we're just gonna take a look at it. We'll see what it does. Yeah, so as you can tell already, this thing is way out of balance. So I mean, that the blade I just sharpened did not do that. In fact, I can like slow it down a little bit and see where it'll end up. So obviously this one's saying this left side is heavier. So when you go over here and fix it, you would take some material off here, but I'm going to bring you back over to the machine again, and we're going to we'll get this one balanced as well. So they're both sharp. I mean, they're already pretty sharp, but I'm going to sharpen it just a bit more, and then we will put it back on here and see how good I do. But as you can tell, this it's brand new and it's that far out of balance. So let's take it off of here, and then I'll move you guys back over here, and then we're gonna do this again. And I don't know, maybe I'll do it from this side this time. Maybe you can see it a little bit better. So all right, so now we got the other side, so we're going to be using this side of the wheel this time. Again, here we go. Look at how nice that is. Now, even on this side, I haven't practiced with this machine enough. It's actually a little bit tricky, but once you get that muscle memory down, it won't be that bad. So same thing on this side. We're just going to flip it around and run it across here. Alright guys, so there's this one. Again, pretty much perfect straight line, and so it is a little, like I said, it's still a little tricky for me, so because I'm still kind of new on the machine. But let's take it back over here. Now I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to be able to do this twice in a row because it's very hard to get these balanced just perfect. So let's stick this on here. Yep, see now here's the test. So I'm gonna take it, and if I can't slow it down just a little bit to see. And it doesn't matter how you hold it. You can hold it there all you want, but the balance is gonna do what it wants to do. So we're just gonna see here. To me, it looks like, let's just stop it and see which way it goes. It's saying this right side is heavier. See that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over here real quick, and I'm going to take a pass on this and see if we can't get this balanced. gives one pass. Let's see if it does anything. So saying that right side's heavy, so I'm going to take a little more off. Still saying that side's heavy, so you start from perfectly horizontal here. See what it does. Actually, now it's the opposite. So it doesn't take much to throw this thing off. Set it again. It's actually saying the left side is now too heavy. So we're going to take a little off this. So now you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, this thing is so sensitive. So let's see what it's going to do here. And like I said, I've sat here with a blade on here, and it'll sit and do this for a while. So I generally try and slow it down a little bit. So hopefully it'll get done a little quicker. So this blade's way out of whack, it appears. Start way up here. Here. Okay. On here again. So we should be getting pretty close, but so anyway, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This thing is so precise. It's just a little bit of metal off there will make this thing go one way or the other. I just took a little bit off the back, and look how close it is now. And then we're gonna watch it and see what it's gonna do here. It's going to stop here in a second. So it stopped. So it appears to me that I need to take a little off this side because it's a little heavier. But it's also, like, if I mess around with it, it might get a little closer. But it's pretty darn, this thing is pretty close close right now. It's still saying this side is a little heavy, so I'm going to take this burr off the back and see if that helps. Basically, I just removed the burr and I took very, very little product off of there. See what it does. Yeah, so that's why I was surprised on the first blade that I got it so close just by running it through there a few times. So let's try here again. Yeah, so wow. Still seeing this other side. I mean, I took a little off that other side. Now I'm going to take a little more off here. So, sorry about the long video, guys, but I just wanted to show you just how accurate this machine is and what you got to go through. And some guys don't want to mess around with all this. They're like, oh well, my nail's good enough. But if you want to save your rotors, which in some mowers it can be a lot of money, so you want to save your rotors, have a perfectly balanced blade, and you'll get better at it too. Like once they're pretty close, I mean, to being like this, you count how many times you run it across the Rbg-712. You run it 2 or 3 times on one side and 2 or 3 times on the other side. You're not going to be doing this all the time. You're going to be just, maintaining it. It should stay pretty balanced. So I'm going to try and slow this down a little bit because it should be pretty close actually. Yeah, let's see what it's going to do, guys. I think it's probably still going to be heavy on this left side, which I can't even believe it, because I've removed quite a bit. But right now it is like so freaking close, because it's probably just a hair on the metal just that needs to be removed. So let me try this. See what happens here. So I think we're going to call this balanced. So this is a very precision instrument. And people look at it and go, oh, that's not that That's nothing. That's just something hanging on the wall. But this Mag 1000 balancing instrument is so accurate, guys. Like, and it can drive you nuts. I mean, this is pretty new, and my Rbg-712 is pretty new as well. So that is perfect. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's perfectly balanced. So, I mean, the Rbg-712 is going to get you perfectly sharpened blades, and this is going to save your rotors. You know, I don't know if you've ever had you sharpen a blade and you put it on there and your lawnmower shakes. Well, that's what's going on when you turn your mower on. It's shaking because your blades are imbalanced. So you're going to get a perfect cut with this, and you're going to save your mower. So anyway, I just wanted to do a little tutorial on this. I haven't seen very many in-depth, where you can actually see what's going on, tutorials on these two pieces. In fact, I don't know if I've ever seen any on this. So, and in fact, I've sharpened this down quite a bit. I mean, it says perfect there, so I'm probably going to screw this up, but I'm just gonna make sure the burrs removed on both sides of this. So pretty dang sharp. So let's see here what we get. Still should be balanced. I mean, it might be a little out of whack again, but it's really close. I mean, guys, I just took a little bit off of there, and it can throw that, just a filing. So let's see here. Now, trying to save all that twirling, because this thing, like, you could literally leave it and it would just twirl for a while. So yeah. Alright guys, so let's see here, slow this thing down. But yeah, you can see that it's still pretty close, but just filing that off a couple of times, it can throw this thing completely off. So anyway, just want to file it. Get that burr off of there. Turn this machine off real quick. So I'm pretty happy with that, guys. I know it's close, but it's like I said, I just filed it off a little bit and threw it off. So, but you guys seen it was balanced perfectly. So I think it's going to stop right there anyway. So I just had to file a little bit off on each side again, just to make sure it was good. So, anyways. So any questions, leave them in the comments, and make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next. So anyway guys, till the next time, have a great day.